You're listening to the Baada, Kazi podcast.
The take from NHF and NSSF in Kenya are really, really small. I mean, NHF, I think, I just thought like it's pretty new, yeah? Because I found an article from 2011 and it said that their collections had reached 1 million shillings a month. And this is 2011, which is nothing, right? You're running a national hospital system for 50 million people.
You said NHF or NSSF?
NHIF. Like I found a press release in 2011 that their monthly collections had exceeded 1 million shillings a month. Which is tiny.
I think because
I
think because that's when they raised.
Yeah, maybe
because
there
it
wasn't
used
a
to
levy
be like
before
200 bob, then they raised it to 500.
You say
for the
100 million?
1
1
million
million
shillings, basically zero, like basically nothing. So I'm suspecting that the scheme just started in
No.
2011. No,
No, it's an old scheme.
is it? Okay.
Yeah, it's a very old.
Maybe the
Yes.
contribution from employers started in 2011. It was funded a different way. They probably get government funding as well out of regular taxes. Yeah, in addition to that levy. I don't know. Actually, don't know.
I think NHF is an old scheme, like it's an old institution.
Have you ever used the system?
Yeah, I have used
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My parents are civil servants, so
They have to kind of. Yeah, that is their healthcare scheme.
yeah, that is their healthcare scheme. So like most of the time, we were dealing with NHIF for health purposes.
How was the experience?
It was actually really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the time we needed their help was actually we had more trouble in the hospital than using NHIF. It was pretty seamless, and we were able to get so the physical health, mental health services. So we were able to tap into both, and NHIF is the one who covered both.
Interesting.
This is
Both
aside
scenarios.
from medical cover. They
That
covered
is
everything.
their medical cover. Like as a civil servant, that is your medical cover.
And they reimburse.
No, they actually pay the
Pay the
hospital
hospital.
They
directly.
pay the hospital, and it's one of the
Yes.
government hospitals.
Yes.
It is okay.
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
Yes.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I have not had trouble with NHIF myself. I think I've been admitted twice in my life. Aside from my own personal medical cover, because they pay for bed. If you're in a private hospital, they'll pay for bed and food, I think. I'm certain they pay for bed.
Yeah, they do pay for
Yeah,
that.
it was so easy. It
Yeah?
was very easy.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
I've never used it.
And I want to believe, is it because I'm consistent in my payments, in my remittance? Or maybe if you...
So the way it works is that for you to get any like health insurance in Kenya, you have to also have an NHIF. So I don't know what deal they have with the medical insurance providers, so that when that is being remitted, they're also remitting the NHIF part. Yeah.
I guess that's when they split. They decide, oh,
Yeah.
NHIF will pay for the bed.
Yes.
Then you guys can take care of the rest.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I've also had someone tell me a story of NHIF paying the entire thing without a medical cover. Like it
Oh, yeah?
caters for their health. Yeah, and paid for the whole thing.
So it's I can't remember the name. It's either comprehensive or so civil servants are on a slightly different plan from individuals who pay themselves, and the people who pay themselves are the ones who get a little bit of a hassle, because as an individual in the informal sector you can actually still pay an HIF.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, we paid for our
It's
nannies.
500 bob.
I don't know if they're in the informal sector, but we paid for our nannies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That counts.
That's
Yeah.
so and they will
Right.
take
So
advantage of
just
that.
take me through though. Let's just say somebody in the outskirts of like Kitale or something like that hasn't contributed because they haven't worked in the formal sector. Parents aren't civil servants. What's their experience? Like they show up on an NHF hospital for care. What's their experience?
And they've never paid?
Yeah, say you've never
You
paid.
pay
They
cash.
won't. You pay cash.
You pay cash.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I see.
You pay cash.
So you have to show that you're a contributor to.
You
to
have
Yes.
the card.
Yeah.
You have a card.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And
got
I've
it.
seen
So once
most-
you have the card, then it's free.
Yeah.
But let's say they did have a card. Would
Not-
they have the same experience that you did? I mean, maybe your parents were on a different
Different plan
the
because they're
gold
civil
plan
servants.
because they're civil servants
Yeah.
versus just like somebody who has contributed 1,000 shillings over the last 6
That's
months.
my hunch.
I
That's my
wonder.
hunch, but I'm curious as well.
Yeah, I wonder if they'd have as good of experience. I mean, because it looks to me like it's tremendously underfunded. as far as like how ambitious it is.
100 shillings per citizen.
Yeah, per year is like that's their
So
take.
that's
Their
100
take based on the
150?
contribution. Yeah.
500.
So 50 million
Fi-
people, so that'd be
Jesus,
what,
100
500
times 50.
million? That'd be 5 billion shillings.
5,000.
5 billion shillings.
5 billion.
Yeah, it's not a lot.
I see that also banks have come together with NHIF. So on a bank platform, you can click pay NHIF
Oh, yeah?
directly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, NCBA, National Bank.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it makes it
making it
easy
easy to
for
pay.
to pay, so that
Gotcha.
like whatever money you have in your account, every month I need to pay NHIF.
And then NSSF, like I know what we all know what the deductions are from our check, yeah. But what's the promise? Like what's the expectation? What's like the promise they've made about what they do for you with that money?
So when you retire, you get like, first of all, you get a lump sum, part of, like, pretty much you're investing in your retirement.
Okay.
So once you retire, you get a lump sum and then monthly payments after that.
And this is actually happening. People are receiving this, yeah.
This is the most painful thing to access.
Right.
Yes.
So they're really good at the deduction side. The part that they write
Yeah.
the check is a little harder.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the most painful thing to access.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is it somehow based on what you've contributed?
Yes.
Or is it meant to be a system for everyone?
It's based on what you've contributed.
It's based on what you contributed.
Yes.
So you get some, if you contributed a small amount, you get less than somebody.
Yeah, yeah.
I see. Okay. You're not planning your retirement around NSSF?
No, I'm not planning my retirement around
Of
NSSF.
course.
Are you banking on Baada Kazi revenues? To,
Yeah, maybe.
yeah? Royalties from our back catalog?
Is NSSF payments mandatory?
Yes.
Yeah.
Even NHIF, pretty much.
Yeah,
I know
for
NHIF.
employers,
For
yeah.
for
Yeah, for employers.
employees.
Yeah,
The
employees.
mandatory statutory deductions.
Statutory deduction.
Yeah, what I mean, if I'm unemployed, I would weigh more on paying NHIF informally,
Right.
but I would never
Because you
think
could benefit
about
this week from it.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And what's the definition of retirement for NSSF? Is it some age? Because let me just tell you the comparable in the U.S. It's called the Social Security system, but it's the same thing. They deduct a percentage of wages, everybody, yeah. And but then when you turn 65, you start getting checks, not a lump sum. You start getting monthly checks.
65.
Yeah, when you turn 65. yeah.
Okay.
Everyone, yeah. I think even if you haven't contributed, I don't think it's based on the I think you have to contribute something like throughout you have to have been sort of in the system.
Yeah.
But like if you just contribute a small amount or a big amount, I think it's the same. It's just a formula. I think based on
Interesting.
your age and
So now-
maybe how many kids you have
Yeah.
and things like that.
That's why
But it's a lot. It's like a couple 100,000 shillings
Is
a
that
month.
the retirement age in America, 65?
I mean, I don't know
or
what retirement
just
age
65?
means. It's like there's no mandatory retirement age.
Okay.
People would say it's 65 because of the Social Security system, because that's when you start receiving these checks. So
Okay.
a lot of people would
Oh,
probably
yeah.
say that's your retirement age. But obviously, plenty of people work past that. I mean, our current president is 84 or 82 recently, right? Joe
Yeah.
Biden. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So-
I guess for civil servants, I guess that's why I'm thinking of a retirement age, because civil servants, like, it's 60.
oh, okay.
But
So on
that's
your
where they
60th
draw the
birthday,
line.
So they have to retire?
You pack up your stuff and
You have
leave.
to.
Yep.
What if you don't want to? Like at 60,
I think
you're
someone
still.
said that you can expand. For judges, it's longer. I think
An
it's
MP is a
74.
civil servant, no?
You would think so. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
you would think
yes.
so.
It's
Yes.
supposed to be, yeah.
But they're extending the
Mhm.
60.
Even the presidency, like, you can
Yeah.
still be
Yeah.
over 60. But for you, if you're a clerk in the civil service, on your 60th birthday, they show you they show you the boxes in which you put your stuff in.
Ooh.
Huh.
Yeah.
How about that? And there's no option to say, hey, I'd like to work another couple of years.
So actually, now that you say that, I think apparently you can apply for an extension, but you have to
You have to prove your
You have to
mental
do-
condition. 60 is pretty young.
not even
Yeah.
I
mental
have a
condition.
feeling
I
my
think
brain's
it's
going to be going pretty well when I'm 60.
like
I can't
you
hope.
really for you it's like how many years away? Hopefully your mind is still
Yeah. Jeez.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, don't start
go to
planning my
that.
retirement party yet.
Did you
Yeah.
see it? Did you see it in my eyes?
You're picturing like the balloons and the gold
But
watch.
private sector,
You
they don't
can-
have,
no.
you can work as
Yeah.
long as you want.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
The,
see.
the point is to give younger people a place to come and work.
Yeah.
Oh, it's to
to
clear
free
out
up
the oldies, yeah?
yeah.
Oh, okay, I see. I
A
see.
little bit, ageist a little.
So, okay, for government jobs, you got to get lost when you're
Yeah.
60. Jeez.
Go to your farm. What have you been working all this time for?
Yeah, go water your cabbages.
Yeah.
I wish Kenya was following that 60 age rule. Like after 60, whoever you are in the public sector, in the civil servant society.
For politicians.
Yeah. But then now we'd be having so many elderly homes. Do we have any in Kenya?
So our system is different. Like we don't have we have like for the population of old people we have in the country, we don't have. I don't think we have enough resources, but that's because we've taken the community approach of taking care of our elderly at home.
Oh, by ourselves.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys don't really have a need as much.
Yeah.
Not like we do.
Yeah.
Where like the social fabric is just completely destroyed. So like there's just homes you put your parents in when they're old. Keep them away from you.
So what brings the difference?
Or you send them to Florida?
I mean, I think it's just like, I think it's along the same theme as the polygamy thing we talked about last time. It's like your social structure kind of has things that like the government has to take care of. Like we have something called alimony, which is the payment that if you get divorced that the wage earner has to make to the other one, or, could go from the wife to the husband. It usually goes from the husband to the wife. It's like the court will say, you have to pay her $1,000 a month, right? But yeah, here it's like through this sort of expectation that you continue to support that family, even if you've moved on to a new one.
Yeah.
And so here it's just, you are expected to take care of your parents, right?
Yeah.
Like it's embarrassing if your parents are suffering.
Yeah. It
Right?
would be very embarrassing.
In America,
All
most,
is not gold.
I mean, it's just, you'll pay, but you don't want to be involved with the care.
Oh, yeah?
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think just that family cohesion here is just so much, it's obviously so much stronger, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Don't you think?
I do.
The black tax?
The black tax.
Yeah.
And
I
Like
do.
that's your social insurance program is the black tax.
The black tax is our insurance program.
Yeah.
Okay, when you think about it, it's maybe that's just the socially acceptable way of care. Like it's you leave it to the professionals. Someone needs round the clock nursing.
Leave it to the Kenyans in the US.
The Kenyan in the US. The
They're in a
Kenyans in
huge
the
amount
US.
Yeah, a huge amount
Do
of
they
Kenyans.
do that? I don't
A
think
huge
so.
amount of Kenyans go to the
That's
US.
a
go to work in
large. I'd say that's
convalescent
what
care or whatever. Yeah.
that's what most people in the US do.
Oh.
I don't know about most, but it's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
No, I'd say most.
I thought
Most-
Kenyans would
Yeah.
carry
Over
their
50%, yeah.
tradition all the way.
Huh?
I thought Kenyans in the US would carry their tradition all the way.
What's
and
their
stay
What's the
with
tradition?
tradition?
Stay with your grandma and nurse them and take care of
Oh,
them.
yeah. Oh, they probably do if they have their extended family in the US. I'm sure they're taking care of them
Okay.
too, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why they congregate in the same areas.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Speaking about black tax.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So, our favorite, why do we keep mentioning her?
Who's our favorite?
Elsa Majimbo.
Elsa. Eating crisps. as
So
you
now
say.
she's going
Try
viral.
this. Crisps.
Crisp.
Crisps.
Crepes. So now she's going viral
Okay.
for saying she doesn't like the idea of people in her village asking her for money. Her extended family.
Yeah.
So when she grew up,
Sorry, say that again.
she doesn't like
don't
the
like the black
idea
tax.
of she doesn't like the black tax.
Okay.
When she was growing up, she saw her dad send money to her extended family, and it was painful for her. And now the same people that her dad was sending money to is asking her for money.
I see.
And she's like, if you tell me you're starving, just starve to death. You're lazy. That's why you're starving.
Yeah.
Go work.
Yeah.
And it got heated.
Yeah?
Yeah.
A lot of haters?
I think it's because it's her who posted.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just because it's her.
I see.
Yeah.
Do you
She's just got
wanna
haters,
do you wanna try say that you don't like black tax and we see the reaction?
No, I don't like black tax.
You don't like black tax.
I don't.
Yeah.
I absolutely don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've worked my way hard up. You too should. Yeah.
So this whole thing kind of works on like shame, right? Like imagine you've got like a brother that's going to be hospitalized and they're getting contributions. And you're just like, hey, this is my money. I made these YouTube clips, not you. So this is my money.
But that's different.
How it would be
Like someone
the
is just
fear-
at home, send me money, I need food. I need dinner.
I need 3K urgently.
Yeah. And then
No, that's different.
then
That's a different culture.
that's
You're-
a slave queen
you're
culture.
You're
I'm
conflating your
confusing
cultures.
too. Yeah. Okay.
And then they'll just end up probably not you give them the first time. The reason why black tax is not like you give them the first time, they don't even put that money to whatever use they needed it for. They probably go and drink it. So you're just funding a certain lifestyle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So right.
Yeah.
Okay.
For my parents,
Because
that's
it's like,
easy because I know.
because it's like you're in the orbit of someone who got wealthy.
Yeah.
You should be participating in that as well.
Yeah.
Like with cash. I mean, I guess you participate. Like if you have a wealthy friend in the U.S., that's great. Like you get to go out on their boat, you get to go to barbecue at their house, but you don't ask them for money, right?
Yeah.
And you wouldn't expect them to give you cash. I guess that's a
Yeah.
difference.
So this
Expectation-
That's
was
a difference.
The expectation is what gets me though.
That
with
when you go
with
abroad-
black with the black tax.
Yeah.
Like with the expectation that this is I can call you anytime. I
Yeah.
can
Right. Well,
ask for it
let's just say
anytime.
that your family like finds out you just got a raise of $50,000 a month or $30,000 a month net. Like, would they wouldn't feel entitled to some of that? Would they? Say
But
they
that's
do.
the expectation
Hey.
of black tax, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
But how would that come across? Like, hey, you're doing better now. Can you fund more of our blah blah blah? Or how do you actually experience it?
It's small requests like, my car broke down, I needed to go to work.
Yeah, there's just heartbreaking stories.
Yeah, the heartbreaking stories.
Yeah.
Blah 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 is in hospital. There's a lot of pressure.
I'm broke right now.
Yeah. It's actually never I'm broke. It's always stuff like
yeah, there's something I need to
Just sort of that-
it taps to some
Yeah.
basic need like my rent is about to be my landlord is about to shut down my house.
Like a wig, maybe a new wig, or am I back in the different? I'm in a
You're
different-
back in the
Oh,
different
sorry.
culture.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
So it's like a tragedy, yeah.
Yeah, it's always something like to pull at your heartstrings, so you feel indebted to do it.
Yeah.
Then
But tell me
I
about the
think the
feeling
way
because
it
it works on
works-
like, are you worried that like if you don't do it, they'll talk badly about you within the family of like she's not sharing in this, she's just got this great raise and like how do you? I'm wondering about like how do you experience the pressure? Because I don't have this in my culture. Like if somebody gets themselves in a jam, it's like, well, he shouldn't have bought that expensive car that he bought 5 years ago. You know, like if he's in a financial jam now, that doesn't sound like my problem.
Yeah.
Right. Like I know what kind of car you drive.
So let
I
me
know how
ask,
much you spend at the club. Right.
is money to your immediate parents, let me call them immediate parents, like biological parents, is that black tax? I don't think
so
it
that's
is.
that's actually where I was getting to.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it's every month you get your salary, you send your parents 10,000,
Yeah.
and you actually deliver that 10,000 in cash, and you deliver it with like shopping for the month.
Yeah.
So like that's how it looks like. And are we going to consider that black tax, like that
I
expectation?
don't think that should be.
And then it's gonna be like I send you 10,000, but that one is expected to be like the baseline. That's like my monthly allowance.
Yeah.
And then this thing has happened. This extra thing has happened. So hey, can you add more to the 10K because of this?
What I think would be black tax, that's my opinion.
Yeah.
By the time you're delivering the shopping and the money, of course, there's an uncle who stays. I'm talking about when in Shags, how our community is set up. There's an uncle, your dad's brother who lives close by and sees what you're doing, and now they start coming to you. Even me, I need this. Even me, I need this.
Yeah.
So to me, that's black tax
That's
now.
black tax?
Yeah.
Okay.
But the
Like you
sending
can-
your parents like
I think for my
that's
parents,
not
it's
black
not.
tax.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
let's just say
And also for my parents, it's when
part
I
of
am
the
willing.
Okay.
Yes, it shouldn't come with pressure. I know, I have set my mind. Every month I'm sending you 10,000 bob.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I don't have it, I'll probably just communicate. If I don't need that pressure. Because let's give an example, my home setting. There's a garden, there's food, there's a fish pond, they milk cows.
there's not the need for cash.
There's
so much.
no need for cash. He has a car, someone else is fueling, another daughter is fueling the car.
Road
He has a
trip.
whole business.
It's a fish pond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I expect that if I send you money at the end of this month, 10,000, next you can't have completed 10,000 in that setting.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. So if I miss a
There's
month,
no way to spend 10,000
yes,
shillings in that
no
setting.
pressure.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then there's also the pressure to take care of your siblings. Like, many people have a lot of
Yeah.
younger siblings. So as soon as you get a job, now it becomes your responsibility.
So
Yeah.
this is because this is the difference like with the because even like say a 25-year-old, say first they get a job, first job out of university, like they're expected to start remitting some of that to their parents immediately. Yeah.
Here,
Yes.
think 19,
Yeah.
19-year-old. Yeah.
So in the U.S., it would usually be the other way. Like the parents would continue to support the child further into adulthood than you'd expect, right? Like they're 24, they're earning, but they're just at an entry-level salary, and like, oh, I don't want to live in Kasarani. The commute's not good. I need to live in Kilimani. So the parents like kick in for the rent.
Oh.
I think I'll do
would
that
be-
for
but
my
they-
child.
And then you stick me in a nursing home.
Yeah. yeah. Once you're too old for that, I don't like taking care of you anymore. Yeah. Like that's more common than the other way is I think is really uncommon. Like somebody in their 20s sending money to their parents. I've not heard of that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I would do the same for my child if I have the ability. If I'm alive, like at his 20s, 25.
That's like 10
10
years
years
away.
away.
Like, surely. I hope you're alive. Jeez.
Yeah, I'd still support them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not that when they're a software engineer somewhere earning a good salary. No, I would not. If I certainly see, because I have hustled, I have seen my way through the top.
Right.
I know if I see this person is hustling, I'll support them. Yeah.
I wonder as Kenya gets richer,
see
like Kenya's getting
someone's
richer, right?
hustling.
I wonder as he gets richer if like that will remain or if that will become like in other rich countries where you become sort of more isolated from your family and some cousin needs money. He's like, what? I don't even barely know that guy. No. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how that changes. Like, because a lot of our stuff is crowdfunded. Like, you want to go to school, you go to university,
Yeah.
Harambe.
I think
You want to go to, like, we have a
So
medical
you've-
bill,
Yeah.
Harambe.
And all these other like
You-
informal things like
someone's
SACCOs and
funeral.
chamas.
Yeah.
Circles,
These are
chamas,
part
like
of the.
it's all
Like we don't have any of
community,
this shit. So we have to have the
community.
government say, when you turn 65, here's your check, so you're not homeless. Like so you don't. So you're basically just not sick and die alone, right? Like here's money so you can feed yourself. Yeah. But you guys have all these other non-government systems that are sort of based on social trust and
Yeah.
family and community and stuff.
Yeah.
Damn, America is working in all aspects.
Yeah.
Now I'd want to live there.
Yeah.
Systems that just work. So
At
speaking
least
of
otherwise.
parents,
Yeah, I don't know.
speaking of
think it works
parents,
pretty
what's
well
your take on? Okay, so there's this topic of. Do you agree that children can bully their parents?
Sure. What do you mean?
Oh,
That
yeah?
they should be allowed to? Or
No,
what do
no,
you
no.
mean?
That it happens.
That
It's
is
like
possible?
it's
Yeah.
possible, and
Possibility.
So, yeah, let's,
we
like-
put it under the carpet.
So we have this problem in the U.S. is we don't beat our kids. So
Yeah.
yes, they will because you can do everything, put them in a timeout, whatever, but you can't smack them. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
So-
become really socially unacceptable to like discipline your
Yeah.
kids that way.
So there's this neighborhood. There's this thing trending 2 days now. There's this neighborhood. There's an old guy who has a truck in his compound. So neighborhood kids play in his truck.
Okay.
And he doesn't like it. He's
Okay.
told their parents, "I don't need to see
Get
your
off my
kids.
yard."
Get off my truck." Yeah. But they don't listen. So what he did, he bought oil and painted the entire truck.
Okay.
So the kids go play and they come back home
Oh my
with their
God.
clothes with
Right.
oil, yeah?
Okay,
And
that's a
if
solution.
the oil dries up, he paints it again.
Okay.
So there's this one mom who came ranting on social media that, how do I sue this guy? Like, he's
for
destroying
the
my
dry
kids.
cleaning bill?
Yeah. And people went berserk. People were just mad. So they're just discussing about how parenting,
Yeah.
gentle parenting, is just messing this whole
But I
society.
think like
Because if this truck was something like a borehole, you'd tell your kids don't go there. Yeah? But because it's just, and it's in someone's compound and you still want to sue them.
right.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Your kids are the ones who are trespassing.
Yeah. So there's a lady called Tawinyanga. She's child-free. Child-free means you just have chosen to not have
No
kids. Yeah?
On purpose.
Yeah. So she was just doing the whole story and she mentioned how in her apartment, her kids run down the stairs screaming, making noise. And the moment she plays loud music, people just start discussions on WhatsApp group. Oh, house number, this, stop playing loud music. But when your child is screaming, I should not complain.
Yeah.
So, aura for aura.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, it's just crazy how, like, parents are just doing gentle parenting and...
Well, yeah.
How is that working out?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah.
You're the parents, yeah. How is gentle parenting work? Or you
sometimes
guys
think-
don't subscribe to
Yeah.
gentle
I don't subscribe to
parenting?
gentle parenting.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, kids in Kenya learn not to talk back to their parents because they get smacked as soon as they do it, right?
Yeah.
And they quickly learn,
Yeah.
oh, you don't do that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So that
But
doesn't
that's what's
happen in the
happening
US.
now. They're changing that. Like,
Yeah.
It's changing, eh?
yeah, we're not smacking it.
And
out of
mostly
fashion,
kids
yeah.
in international schools. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Becoming soft as a country.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if it's like just the natural evolution. I don't know.
I miss our parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
You'd fit into this cup if you make a mistake. I don't know how, but you'd fit into
Yeah.
the cup. The beating. My
Thanks.
God.
We were whooped.
I don't subscribe to...
Especially naughty people like me. Oh, my God.
It seems like the beatings happen pretty frequently, yeah?
Yeah.
As a child in Kenya.
Yeah.
Including like sometimes you don't know exactly why. Like
I think
like
when I
what
was growing
Martel
up...
was saying, like if he went to the neighbors and he didn't eat, he'd get beaten because you should have eaten something, and if
Yeah.
he ate too much, he got beaten. Because like why they're gonna think my food's not good because you ate
Yeah.
all of it, you know. Right. There was beating.
Yeah.
Like there was a sweet spot with no beatings, but
Yeah.
there was like
If you play outside, you get hurt, you're beaten. If you're beaten and you cry, you're beaten more. Why you
Why
cry?
you cry?
Yeah.
If you don't cry, you're beaten because
Right,
you're,
because the beating
you're
didn't work.
tough-headed.
Becoming arrogant.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you're exactly. Quite too much.
Those
More beating.
beating at any point.
Spare the rod, spoil the child. Is that
Yeah.
actually in the Bible?
Is that right? I don't know.
That reminds me. Someone said the word church is not in the Bible.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Uh-huh.
And then someone came back to comment and said, that part where Jesus was giving food to people in the church. There's a part.
Synagogue.
Yeah. So the retweet was St. Paul in a restaurant, just to show this person, oh, you think the church was not there in the Bible. And then people come and say, Jesus did not speak English.
Oh.
That's a good point.
That's
Like
a
the
good
word
point.
church, yeah.
Yeah.
It probably would not have been.
What's the work of a president? What's a president's JD? Like, because what this guy is doing, he's launching boreholes. He's launching...
He's the CEO of a country and he should be working
this
on
is
increasing
his,
our
this is his
revenues
revenue.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe next week.
and reducing our costs.
Yeah, because I mean, we should go for the outgoing as well, what it gets spent on, because this is basically how the money comes into the government. So this is
Yeah.
like the revenues, and then you got the expense side. We can hit that another time.
So now he's busy launching posho mills,
Boreholes.
Yeah.
boreholes,
Switches.
switches, is like electricity in people's homes. Like, what are we going through as a country?
So the
This
problem is that
punishment
he's
is
actually
too
even
much.
launching switches that he launched 2 years ago.
Yeah, he's relaunching stuff.
Wait, what do you mean he's launching switches? What does that mean? What is a switch?
a light switch.
Oh,
A light bulb.
yeah.
Yeah, so
So it's
that's
like
how- and it's going into people's homes to
There
take
must be
tea.
more of the story. Tell me, what's the switch? What does it mean to launch a switch?
So
You can't just
How
leave this
do we-
open.
how do we put it?
Oh, God.
Like,
So here's a story actually. In Muranga, so apparently he was launching a last mile electrification project.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So last mile means that people actually have electricity in their houses.
including a switch.
Included, and that's the way you see
Oh,
that.
that's
is-
the visual.
that's the
launch of
visible thing,
switch,
the
right,
launching
right.
of the switch.
Right.
So that's the kind of project that he's working on. But there's always a twist with our president. If he's not relaunching something. So apparently for that specific project in Muranga is that transformers had to be moved from one location in Muranga to the location where he was launching that so that the demo works.
Oh, right.
And then as soon as he left,
They were
the
returned
transformers were returned to kennel.
No.
And then the person whose switch he flicked actually doesn't have power right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love how you guys have a town called Kennel. I like when there's a town called like Burger King, you know? It's just like there's a burger. You know that one where there's Burger King?
Yeah.
The town's called Burger King.
and I'm just thinking, like, whatever he's doing now sounds to me like MCA roles, MP roles,
Yeah, you should
not
focus.
even governor roles.
Yeah, you should.
But what is the
Yeah.
JD? I mean, I guess it's like
I'd want to know
he's the
that.
commander of the armed forces, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's one thing he's got. Like,
But
go
we are,
invade Somalia.
we're
or
not in
whatever.
war. We're not in war. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, I guess it's the executive, so it's to run all, because it's kind of like he can't change. I think the president like can't change any of these things. It's the parliament, right?
Yeah.
Like if they want to raise the housing levy or whatever, but then he executes. So I suppose he would be the top guy, like the police force and the courts and things like that. But he can't change these
can't
taxes.
change.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like he can't change the law. He just like is meant to carry it out.
yeah.
I think that's the idea. That's the JD.
I'm gonna go through my comments to see what I saw people commenting to see what people think.
Right now he's on a PR offensive because of the protests. Like he's
Yeah.
just he's trying to show that he's actually working. Like he's
And he's
Well, I mean,
he
he's
fi-
basically trying to say like this money that you guys are giving me is well
Yeah.
spent because look, I'm going to flip this switch in Moronga
yeah.
with these fake
and I feel
transformers.
like he's also campaigning for 2027. Going to this guy knows what votes he needs. Nairobi is not a problem. Let me go to Mashinani, and bring these people back,
Right.
Just let them know, or we've settled things are now okay. To
What do
our
you mean,
moms,
though?
our dads. Because even the civil education that is happening, it's only happening in Nairobi.
So you think his
My
offensive
parents
is
somewhere down in Busia, one convincing, 2027, they'll still vote for the guy.
okay?
Yeah. And he knows that too well. That these are the spots to hit. That person in Muranga, that light bulb alone, that switch alone, whether he left and they were without electricity, I'm sure they left him some amount of money. So just buying votes.
Okay. I
So
wish
I
him
think-
luck.
We wish him luck.
We said we're not talking politics.
Yeah,
But here we are. Should we talk
Here
about
we
Elsa?
are.
Why do you think she gets so many haters? First, she
Back to the
left Kenya and told you guys to,
yeah.
and now she's even repudiating the black tax.
Are Kenyans narcissists? Yeah.
I don't think any more than anybody else.
Because this girl was just
She's a-
parading
she's a
her
nar-
dry,
She's a narcissist.
or not the other way around.
Please
She was
don't finish
just
that statement.
she was just narrating her dry jokes,
Oh,
and she was just enjoying herself.
That took a turn.
What did you think I was going to say?
I thought you said she was just parading her dry skin.
No, she
Her
was
dry skin.
well.
Does she have dry
She
skin?
was
She's
dashing.
a
No,
little ashy.
because she's always like
oiling
oiling
She's always
herself.
Yeah.
Guess
And
I'm
then you guys didn't like it, and then you guys started talking about how dry her jokes are, how dusty she looks. And then she decides, okay, let me move
never
on.
said how dusty she looks.
So
Of all
someone
things
said
I've
it
said about
yesterday.
Elsa Majimbo, I've never said.
Someone actually described it yesterday.
Oh no.
Yeah, she can't be choking us with her dry jokes, and she looks dusty and all that.
Oh no.
And expect us.
God.
That's
just
dark
mean.
skin. That's just dark skin phobia.
Yeah.
What's the
Is that what it is? Yeah.
So now she decides to move
It's
out
just
of the
hate.
country, and now we are mad that she's chosen another country to move to, and now she can't have an opinion over her own birth country. I don't know. Either of us is narcissist. Either of us, either Elsa or Kenyans. Yeah, one of us is.
Early Corona, I thought some of her stuff was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that's
I
why
liked
she
her.
moved to LA.
Okay. Oh, you think Americans liked her
She's
more?
not
She
Maybe
wasn't,
that's why she.
yeah, she can come. No, I'll tell her. Like I told her, like there's no black tax in America. You just like
Oh my God.
your grandparents ask for money, you tell them to screw off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I did catch that video for like the black tax thing, and yeah, like when you hear like it's just someone saying what they think about how they want to deal with their money. But then we've actually had a conversation right here. Well, not in this room, like on Baada, Kazi, when we talked about black tax, and I was talking about how I don't respond to that pressure well, like that expectation
Yeah.
that I need to take care of everyone else. So I like it was like, okay, yeah, sure, that's their opinion.
And I think she chose not really a wrong platform, but the platform where she started posting her stuff is a very sensitive one.
Twitter?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Twitter can destroy you in 1 second.
Yeah, Twitter is also
Yeah,
really
it's very toxic.
Because the culture there.
pitchforky. Yeah.
Okay.
And they recruit haters. You
There's
see
a
those
hater
people,
culture there,
yeah,
yeah.
they
Yeah.
Yeah, they would recruit people to hate you on the spot. That's how Andrew Kibe lost his following on TikTok. That's the same way. What is this? There's a guy who sings. He flaunts money. KRG the Don. That's how his
KRG the
TikTok.
Don.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Some
What
singer.
happened with Twitter?
Like, I don't know what he posted on Twitter.
Uh-huh.
There's something he posted on Twitter.
Okay.
And just people just ganged up to hate on him.
Okay.
And then they realized he's still answering back. Twitter doesn't, they don't want you to answer back. When we tell you sit, you sit. So they decided, okay, let's run to his TikTok account and have it pulled down. And that's how he lost his TikTok account.
Yeah.
He lost his IG account.
Yeah.
Just from posting something on Twitter.
It's funny that just because we talk about all these platforms are the same, but they just have different cultures. Like,
They have very different cultures.
just
I find
imagine
TikTok
if
to be so friendly and so they welcome anyone. They're so nice.
It's
you know?
strange to talk about these things as having like cultures, you know, like
Yeah.
that was the
A
TikTok.
social media platform having cultures.
Like what if you acted on LinkedIn like you did Twitter? Like anytime somebody made a post, you just put like some snarky, sarcastic comment on it.
Oh,
like,
and there's a lot to be snarky about on
totally.
LinkedIn.
I mean,
Yeah.
I wonder if there's a market to just become a complete hater on LinkedIn. Just like every time somebody posts like so humbled to have won the award for most improved company in Kenya in 2000, whatever. And I'll just come back and say, I think you're using that word humbled wrong. You're clearly bragging. Like just say, look at me. I won this award.
I'm the
look at me.
greatest.
Yeah.
I'm the greatest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That comment would really make it on Twitter. You'd get famous.
Oh,
for
Twitter. I
saying
mean, Twitter,
that.
that's all it is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
LinkedIn.
Like you
I
couldn't
used to
get away
think-
with that humble bragging on Twitter.
Yeah.
On
No.
LinkedIn, people do it all the time.
Yeah.
And all their followers are like, oh, congratulations. I guess because they all want jobs.
job.
Yeah,
well, and-
exactly.
Because everybody's
yeah.
looking for jobs, so nobody's.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll take up this persona.
Yeah, do it.
I'll be just the LinkedIn hater.
Because you think about, like, I used to put like Reddit and Twitter used to be really, really similar, but now Twitter has taken a complete, like, that's the platform for
Yeah.
radicalism and volatility.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is Reddit?
I never had a
I mean, I know it. I've been on it, on that, especially during that GameStop time, during Wall Street bets. Yeah, remember that time?
Yeah.
Lost a bunch of money.
I won't forget. You lost a bunch of money.
Please. It was a collaborative effort.
And it's this same
I didn't
Twitter
put my
that
neck in
bullied
it.
the
I should-
former
we should have.
president.
What's that?
Twitter. They bullied the former president until he left Twitter. And
What?
even
Really?
mentioned it publicly. Yeah. Uhuru Kenyatta.
Oh, he left Twitter
left
because
Twitter?
He was
tweets
bullied.
were-
You guys were too much.
were maddening.
He
Yeah,
left, yeah?
yeah. And he
But
said,
it's part of-
if you
part
want
of
a
JD.
heart attack, join Twitter. I have left it for you guys. Like, he actually said it on one of his speeches.
Oh, he said if you want a heart attack.
Yeah, he's like,
you
I
join
can,
Twitter.
Yeah. Like, that's a very bad place.
Like even very much the way the protests were being organized on Twitter and on TikTok was
Yeah.
very different.
They were very different.
They were like, it's different, right? So of course
Twitter was-
of course I don't know how exactly it was
TikTok.
going on TikTok because I wasn't on it, but Twitter was like, yeah, guns
Yeah.
blazing.
Yeah. TikTok was more of strategy. I remember even one Sunday, it's TikTokers who came to the streets. They had like a peaceful demonstration and for the fallen guys. It was so like they even surprised anyone. No one knew people were going to the streets on a Sunday, but they appeared.
It's
We
funny you're talking about these people,
we
'cause
need TikTok to.
You're talking about it
take
like it's
these up.
different groups of people.
It's-
Like,
It's
oh,
the
these TikTokers are so
same
nice.
people.
Like, everybody says it's on TikTok.
It's
It's
the
probably also on
same
Twitter,
human
also
Yeah,
on
it's the
being.
same
LinkedIn.
people. Like I am on
the
all
same
of them.
human beings.
But you said the
But you have
TikTokers came out.
different-
So the nice side, right?
Yeah.
It's the same people.
So you have different personalities. I remember when someone came and posted a selfie on Twitter, their caption was Monday blues and all that. And he was told, take this shit to Facebook. It's not like you post
Oh.
yourself. Yeah.
Wow. Facebook even.
Oh, they don't like Facebook people. Oh.
MKC.
But what is Reddit?
Reddit is like you can think Reddit as a social media. Okay, let me start again. Reddit is a social media that is based on communities. Like they're called subreddits. Like there's
Topics.
not general topics. Like if you're interested in football, there's subreddits for all, like the football
Right.
clubs. if you're interested in my favorites, woodworking, gardening. So
That's
there's
what I'm asking, 'cause
so
you
it's
said Reddit
community
was like
based.
Twitter. Like, so if I went to the woodworking, would I just see haters? Like, you're
So that's
doing it
the thing.
wrong. Like, would that be what woodworking Reddit's
So
like?
each community, so when you go into Twitter, like it's everywhere, like you're catching through, like you're dodging bullets everywhere.
yeah.
But then with Reddit, like you can go into a community where it has very different rules. They all have moderators, they who moderate the kind of posts and actually discussion and comments that are posted on groups. So each has its own rules. Like the way we are talking about, Twitter has its own culture.
Right.
So LinkedIn has its own culture. So Reddit also, it's the same. Like different communities have their own cultures.
And can they set their own rules? So
Skincare,
if like
they
there's a
will
hater
set their own
in the
rules.
woodworking group, they
Yes.
can kick him out.
Yeah,
And he doesn't
they'll-
have to be kicked off Reddit.
No,
Where,
he's
like,
not kicked out
Twitter,
of Reddit. Yes.
You'd either be banned or not banned. But if
Yes.
you're not banned, you can comment on
Reddit
whatever.
sounds to me
Yes.
like Facebook, because Facebook has groups as well. Like
But
there's a
that's
travel
not the
group where
main-
you'd be kicked out. There's a cooking group, but you still
Yeah.
remain on Facebook.
Yeah, it's
If you
similar
break
in
a
that
rule,
way.
yeah.
But then now with Facebook, individuals can post on their own platform, but in Reddit, like you post
On
in
that
your
plat-
that
Oh,
community.
okay, okay.
And then when, like, of course, there's a front page. I can't remember what they actually call the front page. Like the most popular post in all of these communities will actually be on the
Appear
on the front
or
page.
on the
So you'll
PL,
find
okay.
people in the Wall Street bets, a post about some food porn has become popular, so they come, something comes on the front page, so some people from their own different culture, they want to put it here, then they're like, no, we don't do that here, please take your comment. So that's how Reddit works. So it's easy to go into rabbit holes with Reddit, especially with some of the really robust communities that really post.
Yeah. I mean,
So
it seemed
it's
like
easy to go, and it's easy to learn a bunch of stuff in these subreddits.
like the ones on Wall Street bets. That's the only time I've looked at Reddit. This is a few years ago when like this one group on Reddit got super famous for some reason because they were driving up a certain stock. And like there was some good analysis there, though it was like only 1 out of 10 comments. The other 9 would be like, I got diamond hands, this thing's going to the moon, like just crazy. But then like guys would be doing analysis of like Citadel's balance sheet. They'd be reading and publishing it on the thing. It was actually really interesting. I learned a lot about like that whole phenomenon that got exposed during the GameStop thing of like the brokers paying for the order flow from retail traders. It's basically so they could rip off small stock traders. That became exposed at the time, and that was sort of part of the GameStop sort of revolution.
Yeah.
So
The GameStop revolution.
yeah.
So yeah, all of these things have their different cultures.
What do you mean by Twitter? Like I've never been on Twitter other than I had to sign up for that because of that Twitter Spaces thing I did once, which was like a Zoom call.
Oh yeah, you
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
But I've never been. What do you mean that you're always dodging? What does that mean?
Like you have to be careful what you're posting on Twitter.
I see.
Like yeah.
Oh, 'cause
you
haters
don't know what
We'll completely jump onto it.
Yeah.
Or for me, I mean, in the sense that I avoid Twitter before I go to bed because I'm in for a long night. Like it's just stressful. It's cortisol.
Right.
Like you just go there, you just leave angry. Like you just
Yeah. And
like.
so, this is my impression to it. Like if I just posted, say all I posted on Twitter was just pictures of like my kids doing cute stuff with the pets. Like
Take
how
that to
long would it
Facebook.
be before somebody be like, yeah, I hope those kids get AIDS or something like that, right? It would happen, right?
Yeah, it will happen. It will happen.
Yeah. It wouldn't be long, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
But like Facebook, you can get away
it's
with it.
unlikely.
It wouldn't really happen. I'm just kidding. But like you could, if you got a big enough account though.
Yes,
you'd
if
get
you have a
haters,
big enough
right?
account,
If all I did
of
was
course.
post pet photos,
If all
and if
you
it got
did-
popular, I'd get tons of haters.
Because there are like cat accounts, dog accounts.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of like the least controversial thing you could post, right? Just
Yeah.
cute pictures of your cat.
But the most people you'll bump into they don't have any love for anything. Theirs is just to hate.
Nihilists, they just hate everything.
Yeah.
That's where they congregate.
Twitter wants to see the world burn down.
Yeah.
Is
Called
that right?
Fefe. Yeah.
Twitter as a group, but these are remember these
As
are the same human
Twitter as a
beings.
culture.
When they come out that one day, they're TikTokers.
I mean,
But
even
their
the
Twitters-
owner is just a
That's true.
mad
He's
hater.
a bit of a troll. He sets
Yeah.
the example for the platform.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, like every time a controversy comes, like 80% of the time it's coming from Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love that we keep calling it Twitter because I love naming
Oh
that
yeah, it's
app.
not called Twitter anymore, right?
Yeah.
We call it
Since
X.
since Elon Musk doesn't understand the concept of trans and people not changing their names
Right.
after they've taken a trans identity.
Yeah.
I go aura for aura and I still call it Twitter. So
I see.
yeah.
Okay.
Cobb Fefe. U.S. presidents make legit tweets. We like I like how they do. Joe Biden, when he was sick, when he got diagnosed with COVID, he just tweeted, "I'm sick." Like that's it. That's the
Right.
tweet.
Yeah.
that was special. It's like he was sending someone a text, like, "I'm sick."
Yeah.
Full stop.
It'd be funny if, like, as a public figure, you just tweeted just stuff like this guy sitting next to me at this conference will not shut the fuck up, or something like that. Like, if you're the president, just
Yeah.
tweet that, like, this guy's a complete asshole
Yeah.
sitting next to me.
And you know, they
Because you could post that normally on Twitter.
Yeah.
If you're,
Yeah.
right.
And there are people who actually get paid on
Like,
Twitter.
if I post that LinkedIn, like, I'm at
Oh yeah,
this.
they also have a payment.
Yeah.
Do they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
people
You
get paid. Yeah.
What's the most lucrative platform for getting paid? Is it YouTube?
Oh wow, that's a good
That's a
question.
good
Like the
question.
personalities who've made money from social media, is it YouTube? Like,
I think people see it differently. I'll tell you for a fact. There's a tweep called Cyprian Nyakundi, the blogger. He earns a lot of money from Twitter. I don't think he would change that and go to YouTube just because YouTube is paying more.
Okay.
I think he's identified his
right.
How does Nyakundi earn? Based on his engagement?
First of all, you have to
Or-
have
how
you have
does it
to
work?
you have to command a big following. So I'd give the first two to Amerix and Nyakundi.
Okay.
You have to command a big following. You have
Really?
to have engagements all the time.
I see.
Like Amerix will post masculinity every single day, just telling men, don't propose, don't pay dowry, don't do
cry.
this.
Don't listen to those
Controversies.
hoes, yeah.
Cyprian Nyakundi would, like, you've just woken up in the morning, he would already know what's happening in Lokichogyo politically,
Yeah.
and he would post it.
I
So
see.
that, yeah.
And in the way that it's just, I'm thinking through the revenue model, like Twitter, like runs ads next to these posts, and because so many people see it, he gets a share of the ad revenue. Is that
I
what it is? It
think
must
so,
be. That must be.
yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
because that's what it is on
I
Facebook.
used to think it's actually partnerships based on his following. Like businesses will come to him for to advertise their businesses.
Funny
or
enough,
his
I've never
Twitter
seen those
itself.
guys advertise for
I mean,
anyone.
sometimes they lose their like
I have
editorial
ne-
value, especially if they're like a political commentator.
Yeah.
You can't be like, and this week, Velvex,
Yeah.
tissues, right?
I have actually never seen.
You know what I mean?
And tell you what, the engagement I see on Twitter, if a company approaches you to do ads for them, they just don't do it open. And mostly it's betting companies that
Right.
do adverts on Twitter.
Okay.
But the kind of post someone will post will not even include a photo. It will just be a post, and that's it. And people already know this person is doing a gig for XBet or
Are you
doing
serious? I've once gone into a thread and read a story, a very captivating story,
Yeah.
only to find that it's an ad at the bottom.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. What was
Yeah,
it? Do you
again,
remember?
I can't even remember. That's why I tell you,
Yeah.
Twitter, you leave
And
angry.
they know, like me, I can tell. Now I can tell this
Oh, now you
person
can
is
tell.
doing a gig for this company. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that environment, and I think when they go to TikTok, they switch and they know this person is selling clothes because they've hanged clothes, or because, like Instagram, it's too obvious. If you're doing a gig for a company, you have to have the video of whatever product you're selling.
Yeah, because the
Yeah.
main
Yeah.
mode of communication on Instagram is like the photos, the
photos,
videos, the
yes.
reels. Like it's
And Twitter,
visual.
it's
And
words.
Twitter, it's words.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah. And TikTok, it's videos. Yeah. So, I mean, the crowd understands.
Right.
Yeah.
So Mobius. Do you like their cars?
I love their cars.
I think they look pretty.
I
You know they're not-
love. They're not Kenyan.
You know they're not Kenyan, right?
I know that it's a
They pretend to
Chinese.
be Kenyan, yeah.
I know it's a random
they're not
Chinese.
Kenyan.
Yeah, so Mobius, here's how I understood it. They started actually manufacturing cars in Kenya. And if you see like their first couple versions, they're just like really boxy, like Jeep type cars, like really simple. And that was the idea, is like they'd be simple to fix. They wouldn't have like a bunch of computer stuff. But then they couldn't make that work, manufacturing in Kenya, just because there's no ecosystem for it, I guess, you know. So they just started importing these Chinese cars that in China are called like a Shanghai 4 or something like that. And then but it's like there's companies that will basically white label it, you know. Like Toyota won't do
White
that. If you
label,
order
that's the
1,000
name I'm looking
Toyotas and say, leave off the Toyota badge, I'm going to put Chad car.
Yeah.
They won't do it, right? But like this Chinese company, yeah, we'll do that. So they kept selling cars, Chinese cars, but they labeled them Mobius, and they're still considered sort of Kenyan, you know, Kenyan cars.
Well, I guess
Because
So
it's
they
a
were being
Kenyan company.
assembled in Kenya.
No,
no.
just imported as
Oh.
like the same.
Well,
the same
they'll
they-
do the interior, like they'll pimp they'll custom the design of the seats, stuff like that.
Why did they make us think it's a Kenyan?
Well,
That was the original
be-
idea.
I mean, you know, there's some business models where I think they can get purchases out of like just patriotism, right? I mean, beer is like that, right? Like
Oh, that's why you were
like
talking
drinking
about
a
people.
domestic beer. Like if you're an American, you drink a Budweiser. It's like it's like saying something different than if you're drinking a Heineken, I guess.
Yeah.
But yes, I get the idea of buying because of patriotism.
Yeah. So it's like they wanted that identity, and they were manufacturing the cars here for a while. Not the ones that you see on the road today,
Okay.
because I don't think they sold that many of those.
But that's
But then they
pretty-
started just
Interesting.
importing, and they were just like another importer, and they just like it's like a white label car that they just put Mobius on. And the same car was sold like in Pakistan under a different brand, and in Iran under a different brand, and Nigeria under a different brand. You know, some local brand.
So they've
Right.
officially closed down.
Yeah. I don't think they were making money.
There's also Swivel. Did you guys know about Swivel?
Oh,
What's
the
Swivel?
transport. The
Yeah.
transport. Wait, it just went down. I thought it went down a long time ago.
Yeah, I did a long time ago.
Oh, okay.
Like
okay.
maybe a year ago. Yeah. It was a bus, an
Public transport.
public transport like Uber. You order for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's,
So it
that
had
was an interesting concept.
It was.
But
I
different.
liked it. I used it.
But
You
for,
did?
Yes.
for like matatus though, how does it work?
Yeah.
Yeah, like matatus. So
How
you
did-
you order it just like Uber. Then it has stations where you need to be picked up.
Okay.
Yeah. So when you order, it will tell you your pickup is at Serena Hotel.
Okay.
So you have to be at Serena Hotel to be picked.
But then it has the Uber benefits of knowing how far
where it
away the bus
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was free. I don't know how those guys were making money.
What was free?
The service.
The ride was
The
free.
service, yeah.
Yeah.
You'd pay like 10 bob.
What?
Oh,
And
yeah?
that time I was staying in Nambakasi.
Okay.
Yeah. To CBD.
Surely not.
Really?
I'm serious.
Wait, so the ride would be 10 bob?
Yes.
Oh yeah. So they were subsidizing that with investor money is what they were doing.
Yeah.
This is like this model of just like get a bunch of people using your service by
Yeah.
giving it away.
The hook.
And then later figure out how to make money on them
Yeah.
later once you have the hook, you know.
And people liked it a lot.
I mean,
I mean, that's what
if I'm
Facebook.
paying
Yeah.
10 shillings to go to
To go to
for my
work.
100 bob commute.
Yeah. And then it drops you at a certain stage, wherever you need to alight, then you can probably walk a distance.
The thing I never understood about Swivel, did they use the regularly established routes, like the same Matatu routes?
Do they have their own cars? Their own
Yeah,
vehicles?
their cars
Oh, they
looks
did.
like, yeah, they look like those. You see these matatus you can for hire, the ones that have nice seats, like high seats, you know,
Yeah.
like the ones people use to go to Nairobi National Park. Yeah, something similar to that.
see.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
and they were not even painted like the normal matatu has the yellow marking. These ones did not have.
That's part of their downfall.
Yeah.
What was that company that was like the food delivery company that failed? This is a few years back.
Safe border?
Remember, it was like a
Oh.
foreigner and he insulted Kenyan food. Is like his first thing. He's like, yeah,
Oh,
Kenyans don't have
Kune.
access to good food, and I'm going to give them it. You know?
Kune.
So his first thing was to tell you your food was shit. Yeah.
Oh.
Remember? Yeah, like
I don't
it was
think
like
I
a French
used
guy
it.
that ran it, and
Oh.
when he launched it, like he basically like said like, Kenyans don't have good choices.
They don't
There's
know how
just
to-
the
they
food
know how
is
to-
food's not good here. It's too overpriced. Whatever. I'm gonna fix it. So he like started his marketing effort by like pissing off his entire customer base.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it
Speaking of
failed.
food, I saw on TikTok that McDonald's is coming to Kenya. Have you seen
that
it?
right?
It's coming forever.
I
I mean, about like 5 years ago, they were advertising in the Business Daily for a country manager.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That was like
Oh,
5
that was
years
around
ago.
the time when you were looking for a job as a country manager.
Yeah, I was thinking about McDonald's. Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad
Oh
job.
my
that'd be
God,
that'd
that
be
would
a
have
good
been
gig.
cool for you.
I could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now I saw a recent post, influencers posting it, that it's coming. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I hope it's true because oh my God, I love McDonald's.